Hayworth? Mr. Hayworth? Mr. Hayworth?
What?
Were you asleep?
Yes, I think I was. Sorry.
This is your 5th session here. You missed the 1st, the 3rd, and the 4th, and today you haven't said a word. Not a single word. I'm rapidly coming to the conclusion that you're not entirely serious about undertaking psychiatric therapy. You should know that I only took you on as a favor to your brother Walter.
Yes, that's why I'm here, too. As a favor to Walter.
Well, there must be something you want to talk about, some personal problem, something that's causing you pain or anguish.
No.
Then what is the purpose of our being here? What? What?
Didn't Walter tell you?
Tell me what? Mr. Hayworth? Mr. Hayworth?
Cletus, excuse me, let me. Cletus, you know that when Father died, he left the entire estate to Mother, and when she died, she left it all to us, huh?
The 4 of us, Cletus, in equal shares.
Except for one qualification. And that now, Mother never really understood you, and let's face it, you're not the easiest person in the world to understand. So she stipulated that before you receive your share of the inheritance, you must state in writing that you swear to use the money wisely.
Cletus, are you aware that the estate is now worth over $1 million, and till you sign that statement, none of us can touch a penny?
And a lawyer tell me that you haven't even been down to see them yet.
No, not yet.
May I ask why not?
Because I don't honestly feel I can swear to use the money wisely, Walter.
Oh,
No, for God's sake.
Cletus, I'm sure that all Mother meant was for you to reflect on the sort of life you're leading and to make an effort to grow up and settle down.
I don't think I'm making very much progress in that direction.
But you are, Cletus. You are. I've noticed a change, a very definite change. You're acting much more mature lately.
And stable. Stable, much more stable.
I'm sorry. I still think I'm too irresponsible to be trusted with that kind of money.
Damn it all, Cletus!
Walter, no. Cletus has told us how he really feels. What kind of family would we be if we weren't a little patient and understanding? We understand, Cletus, we really do. I just wish you'd stop wearing that helmet to the table.
Mr. Hayworth? Mr. Hayworth, you're nodded off again.
No, I'm awake.
Wouldn't you be more comfortable without your hat?
It's not a hat, Doctor. It's a helmet. An old coal miner's helmet, as a matter of fact.
Well, that's very interesting. Do you ever take it off?
Of course I take it off. What kind of a nut do you think I am?
Well, Mr. Hayworth, did you love your father?
Sometimes. He owned a drugstore and he made us pay for our own candy. When he did that, I didn't love him very much.
And your mother? Did you love your mother?
Only once.
I beg your pardon. Are you saying that you and your mother actually...
Only once.
Would you like to tell me about it?
Mother was an exceptionally beautiful woman. Brunette, with clear white skin and dark eyes. She had the slim, graceful figure of a woman in her 20s. Small, firm, pointed breasts, narrow waist, extraordinary thighs.
Splendid. Would you like to tell me about...
I was 14, maybe 15. Mother had just gotten over the flu and I was coming down with it.
Go on.
It was early afternoon and I was in bed. She came by my room to see how I was feeling.
Yes, go on.
I could smell that perfume she always put between her breasts.
Yes, go on.
Oh, God, look at the time. My hour was up over 5 minutes ago.
Well, that's all right. We can run over.
No, gotta go look for work.
But you won't forget your next appointment, will you? And then we can pick up just where we left off.
Well, there's nothing more to say, Doctor. It was beautiful. That's all.
Doctor's office.
Dr. Hayworth, please.
Hello.
Walter. Yes, this is Ed.
Oh, Ed, yeah. Is he my little brother?
Oh, he just left.
How's it going?
He began to open up a bit today.
Making progress, huh?
It's about your mother, Walter.
What about my mother?
Oh, he just said she was a very beautiful woman.
Who? Mother? Hardly. No, I mean, she was a beautiful person, Ed, but I don't think anybody'd ever think of calling her beautiful looking. She let herself get pretty fat.
Fat? But Cletus said that she was tall and with dark hair.
Short and blonde, Ed, and fat. She was a wonderful cook, a fine housekeeper, and a great mother.
But Cletus said...
Ed, I guess there's something I should have told you about Cletus. You can't believe a damn word he says.
According to your application, Mr. Hayworth, you've never done social work before.
I know, but it sounds like such interesting work.
It says here that you have teaching credentials. Couldn't you find any work in that field?
Well, I had accepted a position with a small private school, but at the last minute I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, I felt the headmaster had taken a sudden dislike to me. I think it was my hair.
Well, it's a little shaggy. Perhaps if you trimmed it just a little.
No, I'm sorry. I couldn't do that.
Why not?
The doctor who sewed me up recommended I keep it long to cover the scar.
What happened?
I was attacked by a berserk man just outside a bloodmobile. I'd gone in to donate a pint and was just leaving when a crazed person started screaming about Martians landing in bloodmobiles and trying to sap the life force from Earthlings, and that I must be one of them. So he hit me behind the ear with a rock and then ran away. I was bleeding so badly, they took me back inside and had to give me back my own blood.
I don't think I believe that.
Mrs. Bach, why would I lie about a thing like that?
I don't know. Well, we do have an opening in this section. Our part in the welfare program is placing children in foster homes. Now, do you have any trouble with that? I mean, are you from a broken home yourself?
That's an interesting expression, isn't it? Broken home. I mean, it sounds like somebody sat on it.
Have you ever been on welfare?
No. But I have a sister who was once. After her husband was crushed in a mine cave-in.
You yourself, you're not married?
No.
Well, the work here is very difficult, Mr. Hayworth.
Please call me Cletus.
No. You must understand that this is not a job for anyone who isn't serious.
Oh, I'm serious, all right, Mrs. Bach. I didn't used to be, but I'm serious now.
Well, I don't know why, but I'm inclined to trust you.
Drunk every Saturday, out of work every Monday, hits me, beats the kids, spends his paycheck before he even gets home. I've had it.
Look, Mrs. McCarthy,
I'm
what?
sorry, you're not going to talk me out of it. I'm moving out, and I want the state to take all my kids and put them in foster homes pronto. Son of a bitch, he's driving me nuts. Pardon my French.
How many kids have you got?
5.
That's a pretty large family.
Yeah. What's wrong with large families?
Nothing. I come from one myself. There were 16 of us.
16?
I'm the youngest.
God. 16.
Yep. Large families like ours have more problems. Like my second oldest brother being killed in Vietnam and my 4th younger sister losing her leg in a train accident. That sort of thing. Listen, there were plenty of times when my mother wanted to give all of us away. But I'm sure glad she didn't. And I think she was glad, too. In fact, that's the very last thing she said, just before she died.
She died? Sorry.
Thanks. Look, Mrs. McCarthy, can I call you Opal?
Sure. These forms.
I'm Cletus Hayworth. How do you do? Listen, why don't you come back tomorrow afternoon, okay? And we'll talk some more about it. Because I got a lot of stories about my family. And would you do me a favor? Would you bring some pictures of your kids? I mean, I'd really like to see them.
Actually, they're Kind of cute.
Okay. Bye, Opal.
Cletus? Your sister called and said to remind you you're meeting her after the concert.
Okay.
And Mrs. Bach wants to see you.
Thanks, Nana. Good morning.
Not the pink one. I have a new case for you. It's nothing too complicated. Child, male, age 7, no father, abandoned by his mother.
What do you mean, no father? What was it, an immaculate conception?
I mean, the father is unknown.
Not to the mother, I bet.
Unknown to us, Cletus. Unknown to us. The child was placed in a foster home a month or 2 after he was born.
Why? Did the mother want him?
She was in prison. Look, if you're so interested in all the details, they're all here in the file. After you've read it, go see the foster mother, Mrs. Crump, and arrange for the transfer.
What transfer?
To his new home. The boy's being adopted.
I'm not crazy about adopted.
Cletus, I wouldn't ask you if I didn't think you were the best person for the job.
Okay.
Well, I did because I thought that
I guess it's one way to look at it. Yeah.
because everybody leaves at the same time.
Cletus? Cletus?
Oh. Hey. How was the concert?
Okay. I'm not wild about Mendelssohn.
Why'd you go?
It's better than Grandmother.
You look a little tired, sis. Store getting you down?
Why should it? It's only a drugstore. Any idiot can run a drugstore.
I was just asking.
What's that about?
Well, it's a new case I was given today. Strictly routine. A woman was raped by her stepfather at 10, sent to reform school at 14, pregnant at 16, and had her baby taken away at 17.
It's better than the guiding light.
You think that's good? Listen to this. After the baby was born, the mother, a girl named Mary Kalinsky, left it with a neighbor while she went off to look for the father. He was a student at either Washington or Washington State. She didn't know which. And she never did find him. But before she could get back, the welfare people moved in and took the baby away.
What do you mean, took it?
They took it. And not only that, some asshole of a judge gave her 30 days in the women's detention center for abandonment. So when she got out, she naturally went to where the baby was and simply took it back. Just like any decent mother would have done. But when they caught up with her, the same asshole...
Cletus, not so loud.
Asshole gave her 6 months. 6 lousy months. And what did she do? At 18 years of age and weighing only 117 pounds, she proceeded to wrestle a 165-pound police matron to the floor, push a 6'2" probation officer across an entire row of seats, kick the court clerk in the butt, and punch the judge right in the beezer, busting his glasses. Now that's what I call a woman.
It was always Father's dream, you know. Walter a doctor, Paul a lawyer, and you a professor.
All 2 out of 3 ain't bad. What about you? You were all hot to be a geologist as far as I can remember. Just like that guy you were going with, Sam something. You really liked him. Whatever happened with that?
You know what happened.
No, I don't.
Well, you should.
What did I have to do with it, sis?
Nothing. That's just the point. You never had anything to do with anything. I hope you don't think it's been easy being your sister.
I never meant to make things difficult.
I know you never meant to, but you did. You've never known responsibility. You know it's true, Cletus. When Mother was dying, and I should have been upstairs with her, I was on the phone trying to find out where you were. And when I finally tracked you down, I had to ask a policeman on the phone, a total stranger, to find you and tell you she was dead. And you finally showed up 4 hours hours late for your own mother's funeral. Take it off, Cletus. Take it off right now.
You are blocking the entrance to this facility.
We were demonstrating outside the nuclear plant, about 400 of us. Next thing we knew, everyone was swinging at everybody else. Only they had the clubs and we didn't. All I remember is this cop looking at me, and next thing I knew, he hit me. I seriously don't remember coming back here for the funeral, but I remember being at the cemetery, and I remember the next day, too. I was walking by myself along a street. I don't remember why I was there exactly. The doctor said I had a concussion, and that's where I saw it. Sitting in the window of one of those run-down second-hand shops. I bought the helmet, it cost $1, and I wore it home. And I didn't take it off for a week except to sleep. It was another 2 weeks before I could leave home without wearing it. I still like to carry it around with me. Makes me feel safer somehow. Crazy, huh?
Maybe a little. No more than usual.
How come you stopped seeing Sam? Was it something I did? I don't remember doing anything.
No, he didn't do anything. Even if Sam still wanted me, which I would seriously doubt, I can't just pack up and leave now. What would happen to Grandmother and Aunt Edna?
They'll survive, sis. They really will. Why don't you just tell them you're going?
Because they wouldn't hear a single word I said. It's a well-known fact that the entire Hayworth family, for generations back, has never heard a single thing they didn't want to.
What?
Good night, sis.
Sis?
There's something I want you to try for me.
What is it?
When you get home tonight, I want you to tell Grandmother and Aunt Edna that the reason you're late is because you ran into a man you used to date who's had a sex change operation, has moved to Peoria, Illinois. He plays shortstop for a ladies' softball team.
Are you crazy?
Please, Faith, it's important to me.
Why?
Well, it's something I've been working on. Call it a scientific breakthrough.
I really don't think I can do a thing like that.
That's why it's so important for you to try. Please, Faith. Sex change operation, Peoria, softball team.
You know, you really are crazy.
Sure. But you'll do it, won't you? Have you read this? I mean, have you read it?
Cletus, calm down and tell me what's wrong.
I mean, somebody ought to be goddamn ashamed of himself or herself.
Look, you don't have to swear. If you don't want the case, I'll assign
Mary
it to someone
Kalinsky's
else.
baby was put up for adoption while she was in a slammer without her knowledge. It says so right here.
Cletus, give me the file.
Except something went wrong. The baby wasn't adopted because of a technicality. I mean, it would be funny as hell if it weren't so goddamn tragic. You see, Mrs. Bach, Mary Kalinsky named the baby George with a J, not a G. J-E-O-R-G-E. So, if he were ever taken away from her with a name like that, he'd be easy to find.
Well, it's no longer your case. I'm assigning it to someone else.
But when the court prepared the adoption papers, they spelled his name the normal way with a G. It went into a computer and never came back out. So the boy was never adopted. He's placed in a temporary foster home instead. Jesus, are you gonna look bad?
Look, I really don't... What do you mean, look bad?
When she sues you.
When who sues me?
Mary Kalinsky, of course. Why wasn't any attempt made to find her? To tell her what really happened? If this adoption case goes through now, Mrs. Bach, someone in this office is in big trouble.
But what can I do? No one even knows where she is.
Did it ever occur to you to look at a phone book?
Phone book? Phone book. Phone book, huh? Phone book? Don't be ridiculous. She wouldn't...
Yes, she would. I checked. Mary Kalinsky, right here in Spokane, on Grove Street.
Well, it's not the real one.
Oh, Mrs. Bach. How many Mary Kalinskys do you think there are in Spokane, Washington?
I'm sorry, Cletus, but this boy must be adopted. He must have a real home where he can find permanent security and a mother's love.
This boy has a mother. A real mother.
I am not going to let you ruin his life. Now, tomorrow he's being delivered to his adoptive parents, and that will be the end of it. Is that clear?
Hello? Is this Mary Kalinsky? Oh, did I wake you? I'm sorry. Well, my name is Cletus Hayworth, and I was wondering if I could come by and see you a little later this morning. No, I'm not selling anything. I've got something to return. Something you lost. I'd rather not talk about it on the phone right now. Okay, about noon? Fine, thank you. I'll see you then. Bye.
George, this is Mr. Hayworth.
Hi. You can call me Cletus if you like.
This is such short notice. Mrs. Bach said it wouldn't be till tomorrow.
I know, Mrs. Crump, but the situation has
I
changed.
would miss him so.
Well, what do you say, George? Will you come with me? Is it okay? Okay. Those your things over there? Okay, I'll put them in the car.
Be sure and brush your teeth. And be sure your hair's behind your ears. And you'll be a happy boy.
Can you talk?
Yes, sir.
You all right?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to keep calling me sir. This isn't the Army, you know.
No, sir.
Hi.
Can I see your license and registration, please?
Is something wrong, officer?
You're going the wrong way on a one-way street.
Oh, yes, but you don't understand. You see, a bee just flew in the window.
A what?
A bee. You see, I suffer from apia hyposensitization.
You want to run that by me again?
Apia hyposensitization. If a bee stings me, I go into a coma in 30 seconds, and death follows within minutes. I'm very lucky to be alive, officer.
Hey, kid, was there a bee? Is he telling the truth?
No, sir.
Okay, you wait here a minute. I just have to tell someone we're here. I've got a big surprise for you, pal. You don't mind being alone, do you?
No, sir.
Okay, good. It's Cletus Hayworth. I called you on the telephone.
Oh, yeah. What do you want?
I'm looking for Mary Kalinsky.
I'm Mary Kalinsky.
I'm looking for the Mary Kalinsky who's about 24 years old.
Oh. Well, you ain't gonna find her here.
You know who I mean.
Look, kid, I don't even know what you mean. I'm Mary Kalinsky. I'm the only Mary Kalinsky I know. I'll never see 24 years old again. Not even 34.
Hey, how about taking off that tie? Looks real uncomfortable. Top button, too. Okay, is that better?
Yes, sir.
I thought I told you not to call me sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How about a hamburger?
Yes, please.
Can we have 2 hamburgers, medium rare, please? Medium rare okay with you? All right? Did you ever see a hat like this before?
No.
You mind if I wear it?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you what we're gonna do, George. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go out and get some things. You got a baseball glove? How about a skateboard? Would you like one of those? Okay. Then I thought maybe we'd go see a movie. There's a new space thing playing. And after that, we'll have dinner. I know a place that makes great wonton soup. You like wonton soup?
I like peanut butter.
Okay. Hey, you got a fishing pole? We'll get you one of those, too.
Your father's being pretty good to you, isn't he?
Are you really my father?
What's that?
I said, are you really my father?
Of course I am.
Mrs. Crump said I didn't have a father.
Everybody's got a father.
Are you really?
George, would I lie about a thing like that? Dr. Barber, I don't think you believe what I'm telling you.
Are you suggesting that I wouldn't believe that there's a little boy named George with a J whom you hadn't seen until yesterday and who's living with you now because suddenly he's under the impression that you are his real father? Who wouldn't believe a thing like that?
I admit it sounds a little strange.
A bit, yes. Like why? Why does he think that you're his father?
I told you, because of something the bartender said.
Oh, the bartender, yes, of course. How stupid of me.
And I didn't have the heart to tell him it wasn't true.
Of course not. We should all go around telling every little boy that we see that we're his real father. Just think what a happy place this world would be.
Yes.
2 hearts.
Double. Why don't you go outside and play like a good boy, Cletus? Mummy's playing cards.
He's cute, isn't he? He doesn't look anything like your other children.
Well, run along, Cletus. Go on outside. Cletus, go on. Out, go.
Pass.
3 spades. Pass.
4 spades.
Pass.
Pass. Pass.
Did you hear him go?
Yes.
He's not mine, you know. My husband's sister gave him to us just before she was institutionalized. She never told us who the father was. Chances are, in her state of mind, she didn't even know herself.
Mr. Hayworth? Mr. Hayworth, what are you going to do about the little boy? Mr. Hayworth, you're drifting again. What are you going to do?
Find Mary Kalinsky, of course. The right one, so I can give her back her son.
Right. Why didn't I think of that? But who? Who is going to take care of him in the meantime?
I am. I've already made plans to move, someplace where nobody knows me. I mean, I could be in a lot of trouble if this comes out. Luckily, school doesn't start until September.
That is very fortunate. Well, now your time is up.
But Dr. Barber, I really could use some advice right now.
Mr. Hayworth, I do have other patients waiting.
I know, but people's problems don't always come in hour-long sessions.
Mr. Hayworth, I'm going to have to ask you to go and take your little boy with you.
You can cancel the rest of my appointments, Doctor. I won't be needing you anymore. Bye.
Goodbye. The door's over there, Mr. Hayworth. Mr. Hayworth, Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Thought that you were...
What? That I left by the window? Are you crazy? That's a 6-story drop out there.
You're a very sick young man.
I know. That's why I've been seeing you.
It was a reckless thing to do. I could have had a heart condition.
Doctor, that's impossible. You haven't got one.
I'm canceling all your appointments. There's nothing further I can do for you.
Good night, Cletus.
Night, Natalie.
You had no right taking that child away from Mrs. Crump. She is his lawfully appointed foster mother.
But I was returning him to his real mother. Mrs. Bach, you should have seen the look on Mary Kalinsky's face when that boy George came through the door after all those years. I mean, she was laughing and crying at the same time. It was really beautiful.
You don't even know if she's a fit person to raise a child. Is she employed? Is she responsible? Is she of sound moral character?
I looked into all of that. I spoke with her neighbor, Mrs. Polanski. Everybody in the building likes her. I spoke with her priest, Father Tykowski. She attends church every Sunday. I spoke with her employer, Mrs. Kluzinski. She has an excellent work record. I even spoke with her doctor.
All right. I get the point. What about men? Has she remarried? You know how important it is for a boy that age to have a father figure. Is there a father figure?
Yes. I believe there is.
Bless Mr. Blodgett, bless Mr. Simpson, bless Mr. Peabody, bless Mrs. Crump, bless my father, bless my mother, wherever she is. Amen.
Okay, now, about those prayers. In general, I continue to note some improvement over the past few weeks. But the list of names is still too long. I mean, you're putting everybody to sleep.
Who's everybody?
Me, God. Okay, let's go over it, all right? Bless Mr. Blodgett, bless Mr. Simpson, bless Mr. Peabody. Who's Peabody?
Mailman, where I used to live.
He's out. And Blodgett and Simpson can go too. Mrs. Crump is okay for the time being. Now, bless my father. I don't mind getting a mention. But being blessed every single day is a little bit too much of a good thing. Put me down for twice a week, okay?
Okay.
Now, for the big finish. Bless my mother wherever she is. No good. Your mother knows where she is. You make it sound like she's lost in the desert someplace. It's too corny. And one last thing. You're always blessing everybody. I mean, it's too cute, too goody two-shoes. How come you never wish anybody a case of terminal acne or maybe stinky armpits? That's some great laugh, Lester. Okay, into bed. Listen, what do you think of your name?
George. It's okay.
I'm not too crazy about it. I knew a George once. Terrible bad breath. They used to hire him to breathe on old wallpaper so it'd peel off. So, let's change it. How about Hank?
With an H?
Absolutely.
Not bad.
Okay. That's it then. Hi, Hank.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, son.
Cotton balls, stench of cream, mouthwash.
Hi, Faith.
Hi.
Hey, what was so important you couldn't wait?
I did it. I actually did it.
You did what?
What you asked. I told Aunt Edna and Grandmother about the man I used to date who had the sex change operation and moved to Peoria.
Oh, hey, that's terrific. Well, what was their reaction?
Well, Aunt Edna nearly dropped her teeth.
Oh, sensational.
Why is that sensational, Cletus? 5-day or mom?
5-day. Look, didn't you say they always tried to control the conversation?
Well, maybe
okay, well, wouldn't you say that to some degree they're a little bit less in control now than before?
I suppose.
Well, exactly. I mean, God, Faith, you've really made a breakthrough. Now, look, this is what you do next.
Next? What do you mean next? I'm not doing that again.
Well, you don't think you're cured, do you? I mean, you're just getting started,
Cletus.
Faith. Listen, this is what you do next. You tell them that a man with long hair came into the drugstore and ordered 250 boxes of rubber contraceptives. He said that he was an organic farmer, and it was the only thing that protected his young tomato plants from the insects.
I won't do it. I can't.
Yes, you can. Just try it, and then tell me how you felt afterwards.
Cletus.
I gotta go, Faith. I'm supposed to be in jail in 15 minutes.
Well,
I don't doubt it for a minute.
Thank you.
Would you mind telling me why you're so anxious to find Mary Kalinsky?
Her uncle passed away almost a year ago and left her a great deal of money. And unless we find her by the end of this month, the entire estate will go to the Bide-A-Wee cat shelter in Yakima.
Why come here? According to our records, she was paroled over 6 years ago.
Yes, I know. But since she left here, the trail goes dead.
Surely there must be some record somewhere. People just don't disappear.
Well, I'm convinced that she's changed her name.
Yes, I'm afraid many of our girls do that to cover up their prison records. Well, what do you expect me to do?
Give me the names of 1 or 2 of her cellmates, the women she was closest to.
I'm afraid we're not permitted to pass out that kind of information.
As I said, Warden, it's an awful lot of money to give to a pussycat.
2 BLCs, hold the mail.
How I know you're not a cop?
Do I look like a cop?
Nobody does anymore. If you ain't a cop, what are you?
Private detective.
Oh, horse shit.
Hey, would I lie to you?
Would you lie to me? Would you lie to me? Everybody lies to me. Why shouldn't you lie to me? Look, if you're a private dick, what are you looking for Mary for?
My client was very much in love with her at one time.
The father, right. Of the kid, is that it? Is that the right one?
Well, he'd rather I not mention his name. He's become quite well known. And he'd like very much to find Mary Kalinsky.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So will you help me?
Oh, yeah, sure. Ask me anything.
Have you heard from her since you got out?
No.
But you know where she is, don't you?
No.
Do you know where she might be working?
No.
I thought you were gonna help me.
I am. Hey, look, I'm just warming up. Ask me some more.
If she changed her name, you know what it might be.
No. How am I doing?
Swell. All right, one last question.
Sure.
Is there anything you haven't told me?
No. Thanks. No, nothing comes to mind. Except I hope you find her. She's a nice kid, really nice.
Yeah?
Wait a minute, if it'll do you any good, I know where she went when she got out.
off-centered.
Where, you mean here?
Yeah, the walls are too thick. It's still off-centered there.
How's that?
That's better. It's off-centered still. What could you do?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Could you tell me where the main office is, please?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
That's much better. Oh, thanks a lot.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm looking for a woman named Kolinsky. Mary Kolinsky?
Doesn't sound familiar. Is she enrolled in one of our programs?
I don't know. I was told she came here when she was released from prison.
Well, then you have to see Amy Grauer. She's the director of the center. Would you like to arrange an appointment?
I don't suppose I can see her now.
I'm sorry. Miss Grauer goes to Seattle every Monday to attend a seminar. She never comes back before Tuesday.
Bye-bye, Edith.
Oh, have a nice trip, Amy.
Oh, Amy Grauer?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Cletus Hayworth. I'm with the welfare department.
Oh, don't have time to see you now, okay?
We're very anxious to find a Mary Kolinsky.
Klinsky, yeah, I remember somebody by that name. Why don't you come back on Wednesday and we'll talk about it, okay?
Do you know where she is?
Wednesday, okay? Mr. Hayworth,
Was there, something else you wanted?
It's a very interesting place you have here. What exactly do you do?
Well, we offer women counseling on such things as employment opportunities, marriage, child care, birth control, abortion, equal rights, and sex education.
That's very important work. If my sister had had counseling like that, she wouldn't be where she is today.
Where is she?
Nobody knows. She married a Rhodesian terrorist. Last we heard they were blowing up bridges. Would it be all right if I just sort of wandered around a little bit?
Oh, that would be all right, I guess. Only, don't interrupt any of the discussions.
No, no, thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Well, we started dancing, nice and slow. It was really holding me tight. Both of our faces were dripping wet from the dance before. Really felt good. His face squishing against mine. Then I could feel him down there, rubbing against me. Suddenly, I just knew what it was all about. Just knew. Told him to take me somewhere. His car was parked behind the gym. That's where we went.
Go on, Thelma. We're all listening. What happened next?
Climbed him back and just grabbed each other. His hands were all over me. Mine were all over him. There were certain places that really made him jump. The funny part was I wasn't even scared. Not even nervous. Even though neither of us had done it before. We did it 3 times. Without even separating once. When we finally did, I just started crying and kept on crying. Not because I was hurt or ashamed, but because it was over. I knew it would never be like that again. Ever.
Thanks, Thelma. We'll leave it there for today, okay? And I'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye-bye. Who are you?
I'm Cletus Hayworth. I'm in the welfare department. I work with a number of troubled teenage girls myself, and I thought maybe I could bring them in here for counseling. What's your name?
Kay. Kay Lindsay. Are you sure that you want your girls coming here to us? We'll probably give them a lot of talk about women's liberation. Would that upset you?
Not at all. I support the movement.
Oh, why is that?
Well, all my sisters are involved in it. I have 7 of them. Jane's a doctor. Sally's a computer engineer. Helen's an airline pilot. Josephine is in advertising.
Grace is a professor of religion, and Catherine's a judge.
It's only 6.
Right, right. Virginia is an editor at Time magazine.
Does your wife work too?
I don't have a wife. But if I did, I'm sure she'd want to. Listen, there's certain things I can't talk about with the girls that you seem to be very good at. Maybe when you're through, we can have a drink. Don't you drink?
Sure, I drink. But I thought we could go to my place and go to bed.
I don't know about you, but listening to that girl's story really made me horny.
What are you thinking about?
I was just thinking how nice it is to share a bed with somebody. Accidentally bump into a foot that's not mine. Things like that. How about you?
Well, I was thinking that certain things happen to me today that have never happened to me before.
What kind of things?
Oh, I don't know. Boat whistles, fire alarms, slide trombones going off all at once. Didn't you hear 'em?
No. No. All I heard was the Hallelujah chorus.
You know, that's about as good as I figured it ever gets. Especially the first time. I wonder why.
Well, scientifically speaking, there are certain places you stick out. And I dent in.
Is it always like that for you?
Not exactly.
But often, right?
Try never.
Well, how come you're not more excited about it?
I didn't come up here to get excited.
If you want to know the honest-to-God truth, I'm really sorry it went so well. Would have settled for a near miss.
You want me to go home?
No.
But you're going anyway, right?
I have to make a phone call. I didn't tell you this, but I have a son. He's 7 years old and he's at home with a babysitter.
Nice man told me he wasn't married.
I'm not. I never was. But I got this boy, and the sitter usually leaves at 5:30. Where's the phone?
In the kitchen.
His mother and I lived together for a couple of years. She was a Russian ballerina from Leningrad. She defected, but then she decided to go back. She didn't want to take the boy, though, so, she left him with me. We write once in a while, but we never mention our son. You want a beer?
Sure.
Be right back.
Hank? Is she gone? Listen, Hank, I'm going to be a little while yet. Well, it's kind of weird, actually, but I ran into somebody. No, I mean I ran into somebody. I hit him with a car. No, he's not dead, but I had to take him to the hospital. That's where I am now. Hank, I told you never to say that. What you just said. You know what you just said, Hank. You said bullshit. Oh, Hank, why would I lie about a thing like that? Okay, you want to talk to the doctor? Well, he can't come to the phone, Hank. He's too busy.
Well, you're a good cook. Make anything you want. Sure. If you can handle it. Okay. Listen, if anybody calls, just tell them I'll be home in a little while, okay? No, just tell them the truth. That I'm at the hospital giving somebody a transfusion. Okay. I'll see you in a while, kiddo. Bye-bye. Double,
Sounds like a pretty smart kid.
Oh, he's a damn genius.
What's he gonna cook?
Pancakes. Kid's nuts about pancakes.
Must be pretty tough having a 7-year-old to take care of by yourself.
Oh, it's not so bad. He can do a lot of things by himself. And we've become pretty close. Worries me, though.
What does?
That we've become so close, I won't be able to give him up.
Why would you have to do that?
You never know, do you? Hey, you asleep?
Yes.
What's the big idea? It's late.
That transfusion sure took a long time.
Oh, it was touch and go there for a while.
Where were you, with a girl?
Nobody likes a smartass.
This girl said it was wrong to tell lies.
For your information, it wasn't a lie.
Yeah, then what was it?
It was a fabrication.
What's the difference?
Well, a lie is a deliberate untruth told for the purpose of gaining something. But a fabrication, while it might also be untrue, is about something so unimportant it doesn't really make any difference whether it's true or not.
Why do you do it?
Well, because the truth is usually so boring or so complicated that people really don't want to hear it. What they want to hear are exciting things, and colorful things, unusual things. You know, I honestly believe, Hank, that fabrication is a beneficial and important thing, that it can actually change people's lives. Hank?
Belinsky, you said Belinsky, right?
No, Kalinsky. Mary Kalinsky.
Oh, that's right, Kalinsky. Sure, I remember her. Yeah, she was, real tall and dark. Real skinny. Always getting mixed up with the wrong sort of men.
Do you know where she is?
What are you looking for?
I want to give her something. Something that belongs to her.
Really? What?
Something from the past.
You know, we have a lot of women coming here who really want to change their lives, and they need to forget about the past.
I think she'd very much like to have this. Do you know her address?
I don't. She left the state about 5 years ago.
Well, you wouldn't happen to remember where she went, would you?
Boston?
Boston.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Maybe it was Philadelphia. It was Boston or it was Philadelphia, one of the two. Definitely those two. I'm sorry. I hope that's helpful for you. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot of work to do today. Okay?
Yeah. Can I use your phone for a sec, please?
Sure.
Hey, thanks. Hank, you okay? Listen, I'm down at the morgue. The city morgue. I had to come down and identify a body somebody fished out of the river. The Spokane River. Hank, why would I lie about a thing like that?
You'd have a 400-pound.
Kay.
What did I say? Hello, Cletus.
Oh, you two know each other?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
I was hoping I'd run into you. When can I see you again?
When I have some free time, I'll give you a call.
How about me calling you?
I'd rather you didn't.
I really enjoyed myself the other night.
I have to go, Cletus.
I can't stop thinking about you, Kay.
I'm very late for this meeting.
Kay?
I'm really very involved with people and things here, Cletus. In every way. It's practically my whole life at the moment. I have to go, Cletus.
Maybe I could bring Hank over some night. You'd really like him. Hi, Mrs. Gogol.
Hello.
How's Hank? Is he asleep yet?
Oh, sound asleep. His eyes were closed before I even turned out the light. Good night, Mr. Hayworth. Call if you need me tomorrow.
Okay, I will.
That's a very interesting hat, Mr. Hayworth.
Oh, yes, isn't it? Belonged to my father, Pennsylvania coal miner. One of the best, they tell me. You know, he could dig 50, 60 ton a day. I still sing songs about him. I barely remember him, though. He died when I was only 4.
What a shame. Didn't you tell me your dad had been a policeman in New York City who was killed in the line of duty?
That was my stepfather. My mother remarried, you see.
What a dreadful thing, losing 2 husbands that way.
Oh, no, she only lost 1 that way. The first was buried alive.
Oh, no, I meant, are you sure you didn't tell me you were born in Greenwich Village?
No, Pennsylvania.
I distinctly heard you say that you
Mrs. Gogol, why would I lie about a thing like that?
Oh, Mr. Hayworth, no one said anything
Good night,
about
Mrs.
you not
Gogol.
telling
Thank
the
you
truth.
very much.
Good night, Dad.
Were you fooling Mrs. Gogol about being asleep? Were you listening to our conversation?
No.
Is there anything you'd like to talk to me about?
When I grow up, could I be a coal miner?
What do you know about coal mining?
Plenty. I can probably dig 50, 60 tons a day.
So you were listening?
Listening to what?
Hank, I was just telling Mrs. Gogol about how my father, the coal miner, could dig 50, 60 ton a day.
You told me he was a chimney sweeper.
Don't change the subject. If you didn't hear it just now, where'd you hear it?
Television.
What channel?
7.
What show?
Sesame Street.
I don't believe you.
Why would I lie about a thing like that?
Hi, Cletus.
Morning, Mary.
I have this nagging suspicion there's something about the Kalinsky case you haven't told me yet.
I can't think of anything.
Cletus, Mrs. Crump has phoned every day. Sometimes twice a day. She's demanding to see the boy. Why are you preventing her?
Because he's with his real mother now. She resents very deeply everything this office has done to keep the boy from her all these years. In fact, it took all my powers of persuasion to keep her from suing you personally, Mrs. Bach.
You can't stop her from seeing the boy forever.
Mrs. Crump is obviously suffering because she misses the boy. What we should do is just put another child with her right away.
We can get to Mrs. Crump's problem in a minute. Now, there's something very wrong here, isn't there? It's something that you're not telling me.
I don't know what you mean, Mrs. Bach.
It's something that could spell disaster for this entire office if it came out, isn't it? Tell me the truth. I can take it.
There's nothing to tell. You wouldn't want me to make something up, would you?
I want you to tell me honestly. Have you seen the child since you returned him to his mother?
Yes.
Recently?
Yes. I saw him yesterday.
Yesterday was Sunday. I'm getting a bad feeling, Cletus. A very bad feeling. Would you please come to my office?
Yeah, as soon as I put some clothes.
No!
Have you answered all of them honestly?
Mr. Davis.
I've grown very fond of the boy.
Of the boy. And the mother would be what now? 23, 24. Quite pretty, I imagine. To say nothing of grateful. What do? Do you send the boy outside while you and his mother...
Mrs. Bach.
I simply won't stand for it. I am warning you, Cletus. I will have the court order that child returned to Mrs. Crump if you continue with this sordid relationship.
It's not sordid. Mary Kalinsky happens to be a charming and delightful young woman. The only thing sordid is your imagination. You're very attractive when you're angry. Oh, if you knew how long I've been wanting to do that. To work so close to you. To see you every day. To wonder what your lips tasted like. You have no idea what it's been doing to me. I know you haven't been thinking about me that way. Why should you? You're a mature, desirable woman. You must know how attractive you are.
Cletus.
No, you don't have to say it. This will never happen again, I promise.
Cletus.
Not that I don't want it to. I do. I do. It's just that... I can't.
Cletus. Can't what?
You think I'd have kept it inside all this time if it hadn't been for the coincidence? Oh, the terrible coincidence.
What coincidence?
My sister. Maureen, you look exactly like her. Exactly. She was killed almost 6 years ago at a railroad crossing. She was deaf, you see, and she never heard the train coming. We were so very close. And that meant that every time I looked at you, it was...
Oh, no, don't, please. I understand. I do.
So you see why this can never happen again. If you'd like me to quit...
No, don't quit. Please don't.
Thank you. Adrian. Adrian. Adrian.
Cletus? Cletus? I called the women's center 5 times.
Did you talk to her?
Not yet. She must be awfully busy.
Yeah. Why don't you try... Never mind. Thanks, Natalie.
Hi, Edith. It's me again.
Oh, hi, Cletus. Can I help you?
No, thanks. I can find it. Hi! Gosh, what a coincidence running into you this way. I was just arranging for a girl who came into our office to receive counseling here. Interesting case, actually. She's a product of artificial insemination, you see, and... Why do you keep ducking me, Kay?
You can't come in here.
What did I do?
You didn't do anything.
Then why? You can't go to bed with me 1 minute and refuse to talk to me the next.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
What is so sacred about getting laid? Guys do it all the time and don't even call and say thanks. They wouldn't even know if they knocked you up half the time, for Christ's sake.
You're not pregnant, are you?
No. I'm too smart for that.
I thought what we had was pretty good.
It was good. Well, I said it was, didn't I? But you're not satisfied with that. You want to turn it into something...
Into what?
Something meaningful. And I don't want anything meaningful.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's okay, I'm the plumber. Miss Lindsay just dropped her earring in the john, although what she was doing with her ear in the john, she won't say. What were you doing with your ear? You're thrilled with your ride home.
Well, I have some errands to do.
It's okay. I got free time.
You don't have to bother, really.
It's no bother. Come on, the car's right outside.
How does this look?
You really have errands to do?
Why?
I thought if they weren't too important, we could skip them and go over to my place.
Your place. What about your kid?
Spending the night with a friend. Won't be back until late tomorrow.
I love you.
Why don't you ever call me?
I wanted to, but
Is there someone else?
sort of.
Was that his number 2 blue bristle bicopay toothbrush next to your Oral-B 40 I saw in the bathroom? You think I could ever be a sort of?
Is that all you want to be? A sort of?
Yeah, for openers.
Okay. You got it. Sort of. Hi.
I'm sorry, I must have got the wrong apartment.
Your name Hank?
Yeah.
It's the right apartment. My name's Kay. Hi.
Hi. My father has a shirt just like that.
Small world, isn't it?
You spend the night?
Yep.
You really like doing that?
Doing what?
I just spent the night at my friend's house, Steve, but I couldn't take anymore.
Why not?
Steve's a jerk.
You had breakfast yet?
No.
Would you like something?
Peanut butter sandwich?
How about pancakes? I heard you really like pancakes.
Sure. You bet.
How do I compare with the others?
Not bad.
Thanks. Egg beater? I guess there's been quite a few of them, huh?
Well, let's see. There was Shirley, Sally, Helen, Susie, Betty, Linda, Jane and Joan. Those are the twins. Catherine, Bridget.
Enough. How do you remember all their names?
It's not easy.
Can't be much fun for you, can it? All those strangers coming into your house?
Beats fixing my own breakfast.
Where's the biscuit?
It's over there.
Now tell me the truth. You were fooling about all those girls, weren't you?
Why would I lie about a thing like that? Will you come with us on Sunday?
What's on Sunday?
We go fishing.
Is that what all the others do?
Who?
Betty and Linda and Susie and the twins and...
Oh, no. There's never been anybody. It's just me and my father.
How come I'm invited?
I thought he might like it.
But what about you? Would you like it?
Sure.
You like your father a lot, don't you?
Yeah. Don't you?
Let's hop on a paper airplane. We'll fly around the moon, 'cause there ain't nothing us us dreamers cannot do. We'll go to Treasure Island. It's the least that we should do, 'cause it's a perfect afternoon for me and you. We'll build us a magical castle, you and me and what's his face, and if tomorrow's a hassle, that would be our hiding place. So hop on a toadstool and listen to my silly tune, 'cause it's a perfect afternoon for me and you. Now if you ever need a penny, if you ever need a friendly conversation, I'll be right by your side for the rest of your life. So hop on a toadstool and listen to my silly tune, 'cause it's a perfect afternoon for me and you. So hop on a toadstool and listen to my silly tune, 'cause it's a perfect afternoon for me and you.
What's wrong, Cletus? You had a real forlorn expression on your face. You look 4 years younger than Hank. What were you thinking about?
I was thinking if I had some money, I might take Hank on a trip. Boston, maybe, or Philadelphia. Definitely Boston or Philadelphia.
What's in Boston or Philadelphia? Cletus?
You and Hank looked like you were hitting it off pretty good.
Hey, I'm nuts about your kid, mister.
You want him? You can have him. It's sort of a package deal. 2 for the price of 1.
What? No dowry?
It's funny you should ask. I have this inheritance. All I have to do is walk in and collect it.
Well, then you can afford your trip, can't you?
I guess so. Unless you'd like me to stay. Both of us. All you have to do is ask, eh?
Cletus, listen to me.
I'm not crazy about the sentences that start. Cletus, listen to me.
You're saying that you'll stay if I say it's all right. Then I'll be responsible for you, and I'm just getting the hang of being responsible for myself. Now you look like Hank again. It's amazing how alike you two are. Maybe when you want to be responsible for yourself, we'll have something more to talk about.
Paul and Faith are already here.
Great.
Would you like a drink?
No, thanks, Walter.
Cletus?
Hiya, Paul.
What's up?
Is anything wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. I just wanted you all here because I have something to tell you.
Oh.
I'm happy to announce that I'm finally ready to accept my inheritance. That is, if you think I'm ready.
You're ready, Cletus. Well, I've always said you were ready.
You've been ready for quite a while.
Yes, I think so.
I suppose there's some sort of papers I should sign.
The paper.
Paper.
Well, Cletus, do you mind telling us what made you change your mind?
No, I finally found something responsible that I could do with the money, Walter.
Oh, good. Thank
That's
you. Wonderful. Here you are, Cletus.
Thank you, Paul.
Right there.
How much exactly does my share come to?
Oh, I don't have the exact figures in front of me. It's got to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $344,198 and some cents.
Well, Cletus could always use some sense.
Well, here goes. You know, this reminds me of the time that I signed a petition to do away with inherited wealth altogether. You remember that, Walter?
Cletus, please.
Here. More.
Okay.
You haven't told us what you need the money for, Cletus.
Yes, you have something specific in mind?
Okay. Are you ready for this? I think you're all going to be very proud of me. Silver.
Silver?
What about silver?
Do you realize how short the supply of silver is right now and how high the demand? I mean, I am talking about coins, jewelry, electronic equipment, films, x-rays. The list is practically endless. I mean, that's no wonder this stuff has gone sky high. Walter, I'm going to invest in a very big way.
Well, that sounds very promising. Very promising.
And very enterprising, too. I'm very impressed, Cletus.
Yeah.
I knew you would be, Paul.
Exactly how you planning to invest? I mean, is it mining stocks, commodity futures, metal exchange?
A map.
A map?
A map showing the exact location of the long-lost Comstock load.
Comstock load?
Well, that's pretty well mined out. It has been for years. But the last big shipment from Virginia City in 1896, tons of silver, I mean tons of it, disappeared and has never been found since. Not until now, that is. I have the map. At least I will as soon as I receive my share of the inheritance. What's wrong?
Mother was right. You really are irresponsible.
No? You want me to tear up the paper?
What are you really gonna do?
Look for something.
But not silver.
No. I'll tell you about it when I can.
How are things with you, sis? You haven't told me the latest.
Everything's wonderful. Just wonderful.
What do you mean?
I'm going away. That's what I wanted to tell you. I'm going to Colorado.
What's in Colorado?
Sam.
You mean he finally called you?
No, I called him. Last night, out of the clear blue. I just picked up the phone and called him. He was so happy to hear from me. He'd wanted to call me, but he didn't have the nerve. He was afraid I'd turn him down. Anyway, I'm leaving the store. I'll find somebody to manage it, and I'll hire somebody to take care of Grandmother and Aunt Edna. You know what? Walter and Paul think I'm crazy.
That's a good sign.
I've never been so happy in my whole life.
I'm so amazed that the fabrication theory works so fast. You know what I'm going to do? Submit your case to the Journal of Psychiatric Medicine.
Cletus.
It'll cause a sensation.
Cletus, listen. I don't know who's responsible for me making that phone call. Maybe it was you, and maybe it was Alexander Graham Bell. But I do know one thing. That is pretty dangerous stuff.
What is?
Those fabrications of yours. Once you get started, you can't stop. It just gets easier and easier. You know, I actually told a customer today I had a brother who was a hairdresser and a sister who swam the English Channel. I'm not gonna do that anymore. It's too scary.
Well, maybe you won't have to. I mean, it sounds like you're cured.
Wish you could find somebody.
Maybe I already have.
Really? You're not just making it up?
No, really.
Well, what about going away?
Well, I'm hoping she'll come with me.
Have you asked her?
No, but I'm going to tomorrow.
Well, if she's smart, she'll say yes. Only there's one thing I want you to do for me.
Okay.
No matter how hard it is.
What?
Tell her the truth. Quit? You can't quit. You've got at least a dozen cases you're working on.
I know. I'm sorry, Mrs. Bach, but something urgent's come up. I've got to leave town by the end of the week.
I'd like to know why.
It's this mink farm I inherited. It's a real emergency. I just found out the foreman's a thief, and he's pocketing 1 out of every 2 pelts we raise.
Well, pelts or no pelts, you're not leaving without a month's notice.
End of the week, Mrs. Bach. Gotta protect my own interests.
Your mink farm. Whole thing's a lie anyway. What have you done? Have you murdered someone? I wouldn't put it past you. Do you know, Cletus, from the very first moment that I met you, I knew that you couldn't be trusted. You're an irresponsible liar. It's not possible for you to be honest about anything. I just pray to God that your leaving has nothing to do with the Mary Kalinsky case. Has it?
I told you what it was.
A mink farm. Mink farm, yes. And you'll be taking Mary Kalinsky with you, of course.
You have my sacred word of honor.
And what about Mrs. Crump? What about her? Will you be letting her see the boy before you leave, will you?
Yes. Tell her I'll bring him over for a visit and she can see for herself that the boy is well and happy.
When?
I'll do it on Thursday.
Well, thank God for that.
Mrs. Baca. I know you're not going to believe this, but Mary Kalinsky and I don't know each other as well as you think. If I ran into her on the street, I wouldn't even know who she was. If it weren't for the boy, I would have no interest in Mary Kalinsky whatsoever.
Well, you're right. I don't believe you.
Well, I'm sorry, because it's true.
Cletus, for your own good, I think there's something that you should know. People can always tell when you're lying.
Cletus, is that you? You're too early. Amy.
Can I come in?
Of course. Since when do you have to ask? It's Monday, isn't it? How come you're not in Seattle?
Oh, I just didn't want to miss the expression on Cletus Hayworth's face when he walks in and finds me here.
How did you know he was coming?
Oh, just a lucky guess. And a phone call happened over here.
That was lucky. I don't expect him for a while.
Oh, good. Then we can have a talk. Okay, we haven't had a talk in some time, have we?
Do you want a beer? Okay. Talk.
I just think he's very wrong for you.
I didn't realize you knew him so well.
I don't have to know him well to know that.
Oh, it's his, general type, you mean?
If you like.
And which type is that? Male?
Come on, Kay.
A few years ago, when you offered to let me live in your house, you said that I was free to come and go, that there were no strings. You had an empty bedroom. You didn't say there were things I couldn't do here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that the way it sounded.
It's all right.
Living here has meant so much to me. You were the first person to ever make me feel loved. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry he comes to the center. I've asked him not to.
Oh, he can do whatever he wants. I'm concerned about you, Kay.
I'm free too, Amy. I'm free to go out at night if I want to, and I'm free to invite people to my room if it really is my room.
It's your room? I've told you that. That's not the point.
I don't want you to think I'm not grateful to you. I am.
Grateful that's what you are?
Yeah, grateful. It's a big word. What word would you prefer? Love?
That's a nice word. It's bigger than grateful.
I love you, Amy. It's just that... It's just that I don't love you the way that you want me to.
don't you just come out and say that you want to live with your friend Cletus Hayworth?
I don't know what I want.
I've been a little bit worried ever since you first came around asking for Mary Kalinsky. The late, unlamented Mary Kalinsky. Now, you remember Mary Kalinsky, don't you? That poor, pathetic creature who'd lost her little boy. You remember her, don't you? Who didn't have a friend in the world. You remember her, don't you?
Stop it, Amy.
What did he tell you? That you had ears like seashells and lips like cherries?
Stop it, Amy.
He told you? Why, by all means, move in with the man in the house.
Shut up, Amy.
You can just go right back to being Mary Kalinsky. You won't even have to be Kay Lindsay anymore, and you can forget everything that you worked for. I'd never met anyone who was in such a hurry to start life over. Do you remember what you were like when you got out of prison? Do you remember that?
I remember.
Kay? Kay? Oh, I'm sorry. I knocked. I thought you couldn't, The door was open, so I just, came in. Hello.
Oh, come in. Sit down. Join the party.
You didn't tell me that you were expecting anyone.
I wasn't. Amy intercepted your call and decided to...
Now, don't say intercepted, Kay. That sounds like I did it on purpose. And I assure you, I don't listen to all of your telephone calls.
No, just the private ones.
Oh, she loves her little joke. You'll find that out when you get to know her better, if you get to know her better.
I thought maybe we could go out and get some dinner.
Now, Kay and I just decided to eat in, so if you feel like eating out, don't let us stand in your way.
Amy, stop it.
Come on, Kay, get your things. Let's go.
Oh, come on, Kay, get your things. All those lovely things that you arrived with.
Amy, stop it.
What's going on here?
Why don't you just leave? Can't you understand that you're not wanted here?
You can't tell me to leave. This isn't your house.
All right, do you tell him or do I?
Tell me what? Tell me what, Kay?
You wanted to know whose toothbrush it was in the bathroom. Now you know.
Kay, I came here to tell you something. I came here to tell you that I'm going away. To Boston and maybe to Philadelphia. I'm not coming back. I want you to come with me, Kay.
Oh, no. She's not going with you anywhere.
You stay out of this. I'm warning you.
Oh, aren't men bright and amusing? They're always warning you. What are you warning me about, Sonny? Oh, you intend to do something physical?
Shut up, Amy. For God's sake, shut up!
Come on, Kay, I want to talk to you.
I don't feel like talking right now.
It's important. It's about me and Hank and why we have to go away.
Not now, I said.
It has to be now. Come on.
Stop telling me what to do. I can make up my own mind.
Well, it doesn't look like you've been doing very well.
Get out of my life, Cletus. I mean it. Get the hell out of my life.
Okay, you're not gonna be sorry. You can stay here as long as you like, and everything's gonna be all right, I promise.
You too, Amy. Get out of my life.
Before we go in, Hank, I want you to think about what we're doing.
I know what we're doing.
But I want you to think about it. You know why Mrs. Crump wants to see you. She loves you. She loves you very much. So maybe you'd better consider it.
Consider what?
Staying with her.
No, let's go in.
Are you sure you remember the way things really were with Mrs. Crump? You could say your prayers every night without anyone giving you criticism. And you'd never hear any more swearing around the house or any bad language. And no one would be telling you lies all the time.
Are we going in or not?
There's nothing that says a boy has to be raised by his real father or his real mother. There's lots of kids who don't even know where their real parents are.
Do you want me to go in alone or what?
Will you listen? This is important. I met a kid once who doesn't even know who his father is, but he didn't turn out so bad.
I'm going in now.
Hank, just tell me one last thing. If I weren't your father, would you still want to stay with me?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go.
We live in a very nice house. I have my own room and everything. We have 2 dogs. My mother likes dogs. One's white and one's black. And a cat. And a kangaroo.
Kangaroo?
Not a real one, just a toy.
What about men? I'm sure that there are many men who come to visit.
No, there aren't any men. It's mostly girls.
Girls?
Babysitters. He means babysitters.
Yeah, babysitters.
Oh?
His mother apologizes for not bringing George over herself, Mrs. Crump, but she's just too busy packing and all.
Packing? Why?
What didn't I tell you? She's moving back east. Tomorrow morning, first thing. George is really looking forward to seeing that part of the country, aren't you, George?
You bet.
But why is she moving back east?
I'm afraid that's really her business, Mrs. Crump.
I presume a man has something to do with it?
I really couldn't say.
Can't or won't? Will a man be going with you, George?
Yes, ma'am. A priest.
A priest?
He's a friend of my mother's from way back.
A priest?
We'll be flying back east, of course. The priest has his own plane.
George?
We'll be living on a ranch. A mink ranch. You know where they raise mink coats?
George?
It's not too far from my mother's sister's house. She's in the astronaut program.
George, I really think we better be going now.
She has another brother who's a nudist.
Thanks for the lemonade. Sorry we can't stay longer, but he really does have to be getting back.
Yeah, I gotta walk my kangaroo.
George, I promise you'll write to me at least once a month and send your address. I've been thinking of visiting in the East, and now I've got to go to prison.
You go get in the car, George. I'll be right out. Mrs. Crump, you must have known the moment would come when George wouldn't be yours anymore. He can't have 2 families. I know you love him. I know he loves you. But it's over, Mrs. Crump. Believe me.
You're mad, aren't you?
You're damn right I'm mad. You're becoming the champion liar of this whole state. Everything you said to that woman was a lie. The priest flies his own plane. What priest? What plane? I expected your nose to start getting bigger with everything you said.
They weren't lies.
No? What were they then?
Fabrications.
Oh, don't start that with me, pal. You're treading on thin ice.
Why?
Never mind why. Just know that things are gonna be a lot different around here.
You gonna leave your helmet in the garbage?
You're damn right I am. I should have done that long ago. It's no good having a father who wears a miner's hat around the house. From now on, there's gonna be more maturity and more honesty. No more miner's helmets. And that means you're going back to your real name as of right now. The one your mother gave you, George with a J. And no more lying of any kind. You got that, mister?
Yes.
So tomorrow morning you leave for Boston. Maybe Philadelphia. Just you and me, kiddo. No priests. And we're gonna go by car. No private airplanes either. Are you sure you still want to go? That's good. Because frankly, I've been counting on it. I wouldn't want this to get around, but I'd be kind of lost without you. Why don't you go get ready for bed, and I'll come in and check your prayers, okay? Hey, you?
The door was open.
Thought I'd never see you again.
I tried to call, but the line was busy. I'm on my way to the station.
Where you going?
Arizona.
What's in Arizona?
I don't know. I thought I'd have a look. I heard you were looking for someone named Mary Kalinsky.
Yes.
Why?
I want to give her something. Why? Do you know her?
I used to, at the center.
Do you know where she is?
No. I have to go, but I really wanted to apologize for the way I talked to you yesterday.
It's okay.
No, it's not. I haven't been honest with you.
Neither have I.
See, the truth about my life isn't all that terrific.
I don't care, Kay. I love you.
Is Hank awake? I wanted to say goodbye to him.
We're leaving, too. First thing tomorrow morning. Maybe we could give you a lift. Hank's never seen Arizona.
I think it's better this way.
Why?
People have a way of disappearing out of my life.
You're the one who's disappearing.
Taxi's waiting. I have to go. Do you mind if I wake Hank?
No. No, you do what you want.
Hank? Hank, you awake? Will you please say goodbye to Hank for me? Hi.
Fine.
Sorry I woke you up, Hank. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to you.
Stop calling me Hank. It's not my name. It's George. George with a J.
What did you say?
I said it was George with a J.
With a J?
With a J.
George with a J?
Let's hop on a paper airplane. We'll fly around the moon, 'cause there ain't nothing us dreamers cannot do. We'll go to Treasure Island. It's the least that we should do, 'cause it's a perfect afternoon for me and you and you.